welcome back to our third recipe for Stay Home, Eat Great. This recipe is called Trader Nachos. Trader Nachos because it has ingredients from all over the world. We usually associate nachos with Mexican cuisine, but surprise, this one has a twist, and I know you're gonna like it. So we're going to start off with our ingredients. First off, this is a ground beef based recipe. So I have 3 pounds of ground beef. You see, it's like a heaping plate there of ground beef, but we'll be alright. I'm going to be using a little bit of, as I always do, extra light tasting olive oil, a whole small to medium red onion. Here we go, international here. Chopped black olives. These are more like minced, but it says chopped black olives. We're going to use a 28-ounce can of stewed tomatoes with no skin, of course. We're going to use the chicken bouillon, an ounce of white cooking wine. We're using salt and pepper, cumin, garlic powder, and oregano here, okay? And here is, I normally don't talk about brands, but this, I'm not going to say the name, but it says here, black bean soup. This is a good one. So, let's get started. We're going to start off with a little bit of our light tasting olive oil just to get the red onion going. We want to let it start sweating right away. Here we go with our red onion. It's a rough chopped onion, okay? So we're going to let that sweat for a little while. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper as it's going. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper just for some flavor here to our red onion as we're going here. You're going to find out that you like this really well. I'm using 3 pounds of beef because, as usual, we like leftovers, and this one is one that you will really like. Very tasty. It's not the traditional nachos, as you'll see very soon once we get to plating. So we're on medium-high heat. And if you have a look here, here's our onions. We've been cooking the flavor out of them. They're just starting to get caramelized a little bit. And you don't want them over caramelized, but we're doing good. Next, we're going to bring in our ground beef. As usual, I get my trusty glove on. We'll bring in our ground beef. And once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're so inclined, subscribe to my channel for more recipes. I'm looking to keep this up as much as I can, but with your support, it's always appreciated, of course. I'm going to go ahead and season it a little bit with some salt and pepper here. Ground beef always needs salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to put some garlic powder in here. I'll be putting the measurements across your screen. Some garlic powder. We'll be putting some cumin in here. Alright. And we're going to put some oregano in here as well. Alright. This is getting good. So, I'm done with the glove. Safety first, right? So I'll mix it all in. Very important, you want to mix it all in so that the seasoning gets over all the meat here. I'm using this old Dutch oven here. If you watched my last video, I introduced my grandmother. But this was hers as well, and I'll tell you what, this thing sears meat. It cooks tamales. It does whatever you need it to do. It's so old, but it works awesome, and it's amazing for this dish. So, see you back in a bit. So, what we're doing here is we've broken up all the meat. The meat's already gotten some color, not too much. The next couple of steps come together rather quickly. We're going to use our chopped black olives. We're going to put this whole can in here. Chopped black olives. I can see you. So I can see someone on the other end. Ew, black olives. Don't worry, you're not gonna taste it. You're not gonna taste it. Well, then why put it in there? Because it tastes awesome. This is a 4.2 ounce small can. So we put in all of our chopped black olives. We mix that up. As this is going here really nice. We're gonna put in our 1 ounce of white cooking wine. Put that in there. Okay. So coming together. We're on high heat. On high heat here. All right, looking good. Looking good. The onion is almost completely broken down. The next part that really kicks up this flavor is these stewed tomatoes. I am using a 28 ounce can. Remember, we have about 3 to 3 1/4 pounds of ground beef. I like making enough so we can take some for. It packs excellent for lunch the next day. Hint, hint. For those that want to take some leftovers, might not be able to get away from work the next day, or might have hungry kids with you the next day. This is awesome. Reheated. All right. Now we're gonna bring in the whole bowl here. Really beautiful tomatoes here. I've chopped them. I've given them just a rough chop so that they'll give the dish some color. Alright, so I've taken out any excess oil and or grease from our meat here. You do the same if you want to keep this a little on the healthy side. And so we're going to go now for our black bean soup. I had 3 pounds of meat in here, so I'm going to put 3 cans of black bean soup. You want to put in the whole can. I like putting a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water, and we can make a little slurry there and get every last bit of that goodness out of there. So the last thing we're incorporating into this here is our chicken bouillon. Okay, so I have a teaspoon and a half here, a heaping teaspoon and a half that I want to put in here, maybe a little bit. Okay. All right. That's the last thing. Now remember that adds salt as well, so be very careful. I always taste the meat before I put in more. You don't want it too salty. And here is our final product right before garnishing. And you might be asking, where are the chips? Where do the nachos come in? That's coming up next. Stand by. Time to plate. This is the fun part here. As you see now, it looks familiar, right? So here we go. We're gonna get a heaping spoon here right on top. Oh man, we need a little more. There you go. So we got about 1.5 here. Next, you're gonna put your shredded cheese on top. Plenty of shredded cheese. All right, shredded cheese. Then next, some avocado. I just cubed some avocado here. I'm gonna put that right here, right on top. And this avocado is so soft. All right, we're gonna put some shredded lettuce as well, right on top. See how nice that looks? Now, some jalapenos, all right, here. If you don't like them, that's okay. You don't need to eat any. But to finish off, we have this Crema Mexicana. Others would use sour cream. So you just put some of that right on the top. Now, doesn't that look delicious? Try this and your family will love you for it. This goes good at a party. This goes good in the wintertime. When it's cold, it goes good anytime. So once again, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Say hello. I'd like to know if you've tried any of these recipes. Let me know where you're from. I'd like to say hello to Ricky Flores from Texas, Isaac Lopez from Texas, and Marty Miller from Missouri. Maybe you'll be next. All right. So this is Stay Home, Eat Great. God bless you. Be safe. One last thing. Get a spoon. You're gonna need it.